What is the best advice you've received from a junior?
Okay, so the best advice I have received was literally last month. We managed to get an opportunity for one of the creators we manage, which was a very big deal for us and a very big win for her. A massive opportunity. The whole team, right? Like everyone at OML was trying to make it happen, and we finally made it happen, and it was amazing. And then when it came through, someone came to me and said, "Tusharr, it's happened." I said, "Okay, cool." Then I moved on. And then this person, I wish I could name them, but it was a private conversation. She sat me down and said, "Tusharr, why are you never happy about things? We've just done something insane." And I think that to me in the last 1 month has been a change that I'm trying to make, where it's not like I'm not happy, but there's no reason you can't celebrate the small wins and the big wins. And that's something that now I'm going to start doing much more of. But I think definitely the best advice in the last 5 years that I've got from someone. Hi, I'm Tusharr. I work as the COO at OML Entertainment.
Have you ever faced imposter syndrome, and how do you deal with it?
So, I face imposter syndrome all the time. I'm facing it right now. Why am I here? Why are these really smart people wanting to talk to me? Do I have the right to even say the things that I'm going to say? Doubting myself. And I think when you start talking to people, you get shocked at how many people are actually in the same mind frame. It's all about not letting this feeling bog you down. And that's how I've dealt with it. There are times where I feel it checks me and puts me in the right place also, because sometimes you're questioning if you're making the right decision. But to let it negatively affect you and to impact your confidence, I think that's when it's not working for you. And if that's happening, I totally recommend getting help, speaking to whoever, a qualified professional, to figure if you really need to make changes in the way you're behaving. But at a level where it's not impacting you negatively, I think it helps me, it drives me to push myself.
So Beyonce uses the name Sasha Fierce to overcome her imposter syndrome on stage. What would you name yourself?
I think I named myself Big T. Just, I think it's got a little bit of a hip-hop, rap thing happening there. But I think I'd say I'm Big T.
How has accessibility of data really helped you in decision-making process for all your projects? And what role does gut play in all of this?
I think it's very important. I mean, really, really interesting question. And we asking this question all the time in office to each other. Should we go with gut and instinct, or should we go with data-led answers? And I think that conflict is one of the best conflicts to have. I'll tell you about a very interesting thing that we did. We were doing Bacardi House Party Sessions, which is a music platform, where the whole idea is that the platform enables new and upcoming talent to showcase their music. And this was many years ago. And when we were working on the property, one of the challenges we ran into was, what is the platform that we should use to put this music out? Very logically, your brain will say, okay, let's do it with a music label. But doing it with a music label meant, either that artist having to sign up with the label, or sort of go through the complicated process of bringing that label and the artist together. Maybe the artist doesn't want to work with that label. We went back to data. We said Bacardi House Party Sessions as a property is trying to reach a certain segment of the audience. What segment of that audience, or what is that content that segment of the audience is watching the most? While yes, it will have music labels on it as well, because people love streaming music. I mean, YouTube still is the largest music streaming platform, even though Spotify and everyone else is there, but people log on to YouTube to listen to music. We figured that audience was actually spending more time on a comedy channel that we were working with. And we essentially took this musician and released his music on a comedy channel. That musician who I'm talking about is Ritviz. He's gone from being discovered to now one of the biggest sensations in the country. And data led us to that decision. and a great decision. Use the data that's available if it's available. When data is not available, then yeah, I mean, fingers crossed, touch wood, and try and hope that what the decision you're making is in the right direction.
Since we're talking about music and knowing the importance music holds in your life, I'd like to ask you about the kind of music you are into.
So I go through phases, I think, much like everyone. And right now I'm in back to my reggae phase. So I love listening to reggae music right now. Like today morning I was thinking about Bali Sagu, because Bali Sagu was one of the first Indian DJs to fuse Punjabi and reggae music. So yeah, that's the phase I'm currently in right now.
If I were to get into reggae for the first time, what kind of artist should I start listening to?
I think if you're going to get into reggae, what you should first do is start listening to people from back in the day who started the reggae music movement, if you may say. A lot of the people who contributed to bringing music, I think, say Bob Marley only popularized it. But for example, one of my legends who I love is this guy called Lee Scratch Perry. He died at the age of 94, 95, I think, very recently. I've had the opportunity to watch him live once. And yeah, it's amazing the kind of music, how it evolved really.
How important do you think is it to be kind as you grow up the ladder?
So I think kindness or being kind or being even aware of how people are feeling is really important as you keep growing in your organization. For leaders, I think it's really important to be tapped into how your employees are feeling, right? There's casual and non-casual ways of doing it. Casual ways is just by setting up skip level meetings with people who you don't usually work with to say, hey, how are you doing? Don't talk about work, talk about everything else, and to just figure out if they're doing okay. Is there any way you can help them do their job better? Because I personally believe that you should leave personal things out of the office, and I as a leader never get into that. But yes, can I make your life at work better? 100%. It's my job to make sure I'm doing that. And I think many times kindness is wrongly understood as cutting slack. It is not that. Sometimes being kind is also being the person to have that difficult conversation with someone and telling them that you're not doing things right. You're being kind to them by helping them fix what could possibly help change their career completely. So kindness is about coming from a place which is to help the other person. That help could be by correcting things they're doing wrong, could be by making opportunities available to them which they are not being made available to them because of some reason, clearing the path for them, reducing obstacles as much as you can. So I think kindness is the core of how you should be working with anyone. How that shows up for different people is really varied depending on who you're chatting with.
I would just like to say that I really loved your trip today. And my question is, if you could dress up as your favorite artist, who would it be?
First time I've been complimented on my drip, so thank you. That's amazing. I actually, weirdly enough, don't ever really notice what people are wearing. So when you ask me who I'd like to dress up like, I really can't even think of anyone, It's pretty much, I think my shopping is pretty much based on what I see around me as my friends and colleagues. Cool shoes, where did you buy them? Were they on discount? Yeah, I wish I could wear some of the clothes which, like, say, Ranveer Singh wears. Ranveer Singh? Yeah. Because I just think it's so cool. He just wears whatever he wants to.
Sorry to circle back to data and discovery.
No, love it.
But have you ever come across creators who the data did not support initially, but they made it big anyway?
When people are just about starting off and you think or you have this gut that they are going to blow up and become something massive, you should follow that gut. And that happens to me every time. I remember when I saw TheMermaidscales for the first time, I was like, this person is going to kill it, right? Like her effort to create content for me is just like full respect, like full points, right? I don't see too many people doing that. And but I thought in my head that time that she won't scale because itna niche, it's feeling like a very niche kind of space. But look at how she's massive right now and she's continuing to do what she does. and she's doing it amazingly. So I feel, I discover and explore. Like, I'm so sad TikTok went away, right? Because I felt like I had gone into like this world which I was not exposed to, of creators who maybe I don't vibe with, but who I really feel had great potential to grow at an India level, whether they were dance creators, whether they were ladies doing mehendi, whatever it was. And I think my mind is blown every day when I discover, and I think that's one of my fun parts of my doom scrolling, is discovering new people and being like, hey, save this person because they're going to be really cool.
What is the best way for a creator to get representation?
So as an upcoming creator who is looking to be represented or looking to be managed, I think it's really important to first start understanding what the creator management companies out there are good at. So if you're a chef, you possibly want to go to a management company who is good at managing chefs, or who you understand will be good at managing you. That will only come out when you start having conversations with them. So the first part of it is, how do you get in touch? I think the best way to do it, like you were saying, is mail them, DM them. I think DMs work faster than emails these days. LinkedIn, Instagram, wherever you want to. The worst that can come out of it is they can say, hey, you know what, right now we're not looking at managing maybe your category of the content you do, or maybe the size of the scale you're at, or they might even, there's so many times people get in touch with us at OML and we humbly have to say no, because maybe we don't know enough about that universe yet. But so just keep reaching out, both on the digital medium, but I also feel at conferences, and when conferences happen, when creators come together, or even festivals like the ones you do, and there's someone from a brand who's there, or someone from a creator management agency who's there, just walk up and say hi, and show them the content you're doing. So many times that's really interesting, because as a talent management company, you're always on the lookout for new people.
So TBH is my first job and I've been here for close to 3 years now. We started off as a memes curation page, and today I have an opportunity to produce format with creators such as you. But my friends who have changed multiple jobs keep saying that I'm stuck in my comfort zone. So it makes me question, is comfort zone misunderstood? Because I seem to love mine.
We have had people at OML who've been there for 10 years. Does it mean that they're comfortable, they're lazy, they don't want to do new things? Absolutely not. You can be at the same job for a really long time, but what you do at the job over that period of time is, what's most important. One of the most difficult things, like we were talking about culture earlier, is finding a place that you vibe with in terms of a culture. If you find that place, which for me is OML, that I vibe with in terms of what they stand for, in terms of what we as a culture have built, I will continue working there and trying to enable myself to do different things. Because you have to keep your learning journey on, and just like you said, you started as a meme page admin or someone running that, but now you're shooting content, you're creating an IP, you're building a show. The company is going to grow. How you plug into that growth journey is really important. So I don't think you should get fazed by people who are just jumping a company to another. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe they're trying to find their space of comfort. And it's absolutely fine to be in a place of comfort. So I think it's this whole term of like you're in your comfort zone. It's wrong. It's fine. If you, like, most people are paying money to psychiatrists, psychologists, doctors, godmen, and God knows who all to find that comfort. If you found that comfort, please stay there.
Oh,
Cool. Got it.
Okay, everyone.
Cool.
Phones on silent.
Phones on silent.
किसी का फोन बजा तो वो मेरा.
Silent करने दो 1 minute.